GS9 North Radio. Tony Champagne.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Champagne Black.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Champagne Room.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Champagne Room.
Yes,
You're not entering the Champagne Room.
It's time to unwind. No school, this is a recess. I'm getting right. Drink your light, listen to GS. I'm sitting down at GS. You know, Jersey, home station. You know, you gotta beat this. The unsigned artist interview. New tunes, the Champagne Room. Hot topic, she get the deepest. So beat this. Call up so you can speak in. Exotic music. Even some for your deacon. School's out and you home for the weekend? No doubt. Don't even start tweaking. This wasteland. Rock bottom, changing the seasons. Yeah, what? While we sitting at the GS, it's time to unwind. No school, this is a recess. While I'm sitting down at GS. Yeah. While I'm sitting down at GS.
Welcome to the Champagne Room.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Champagne Room.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Champagne Room.
Yes,
You're
yes.
not entering the Champagne
Radio.
Room. Call in 973-900-6453.
What's good, y'all? You already know it's your girl Tanya Champagne, and you are tuned in to the Champagne Room Radio Show right here on GS Radio North, our radio station. And y'all already know, before I start anything, I have to give love and thanks to the Lord up above. Thank you for another day, another hour, another second, another minute. Just thank you for letting us be here again and seeing another day. And with that being said, hey, Ustream, what's good, guys, in all 232 countries that watch us? I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And we are here with two super. Y'all don't even understand what's going on this evening. Y'all don't even understand what's going on this evening. We have two super guests in the building, and it is, oh, y'all already know, my baby Eddie Nicholas and Mr. Adam Cruz. See, they can't even hear the applause they're getting. They're getting applause all on the Ustream. See, it's a different look in here right now, guys, because we have the I'm the only one with the headphones on now, so you know they don't have their headphones on, so they don't get to hear the explosions and the sirens and the clapping and all of that stuff. They don't get to hear all of that awesome stuff I do up in here. But I'm going to put the camera on, and I want them to say hello. Hey, guys. What's going on? Yes. Okay, your camera's there. Oh, okay. That's your camera. That's right. That's your Ustream camera. And then you got all these other cameras in here with the lives and stuff on it. So you know y'all got to say hello to everybody. But we're gonna have a split screen. So they'll be able to see both you and myself. So it won't be, just you, and then unless you're saying something, then I'm gonna just put it on you. Okay. All right. So that's how this works. So you guys, Eddie, this isn't your first time here.
No, it's not.
No. It's not your first. It's definitely not your first time here, and it's definitely not going to be your last time.
No, not
here.
at all.
So we have to let everybody know that here on the Champagne Room Radio Show, we always like to start from the beginning of things. Like what gave you the I don't want to say the intuition. I don't know what would it be to do music? When did you decide I want to be a singer? Like, I really want to do this.
When I was a little boy, growing up, I was the one that stood in the middle of the circle with the spotlight shining on me. I was the star. I wanted to be Diana Ross. I wanted to be James Brown. I wanted to be all of those people that stood in the floodlights and in the spotlight. And just what happiness singing to people. So it's since I was a child.
Okay. And Adam, I see you there that doing that music thing. You are just you're just fantastic with that whole thing. And when did you decide music was going to be a big part of your life?
Well, I've been obsessed with music since the same thing since I was a little boy, and probably as early as like 6 years old. I lost my dad young, and I lost my dad kind of tragically in an accident, and at the age of 8. And I
Oh,
noticed
wow.
that I went to music as this sort of natural thing, and it became like therapeutic.
Okay.
And so what I did over the years is I was like, wow, this thing felt good. It
Right.
felt like when I felt really down, I could turn on,
Mm-hmm,
Angela Bofill was my favorite.
Okay,
And I got that
yes.
from my dad. My dad, when he was like, I love this album, Angel of the Night.
Okay.
And I love that album. People Make the World Go Round. I Try. All those records really spoke to me.
Wow.
And it made me feel close to my dad after he
Oh.
passed. So I noticed that there was this power of music. So I've been involved in music so long, between DJing. I started at 10 because my cousin, who was much older, gave me his equipment. He just up and decided to not do it anymore.
Okay,
Shout out to
okay.
you, Frank Allah. And so yeah, I've been DJing since I was 10, and I just kept going. I thought that was going to be part of my story, but it turns out working on record labels became a really strong passion of mine.
Wow.
And then working on music thereafter became even stronger of a passion.
Okay.
And then after that, it was about sharing the education around the music business became really passion. I created more of that feeling of passion around that. You know?
Nice. So you don't only do DJ, and you do productions and
Yeah,
everything.
so-
You produce.
okay,
He
of
does
course.
it all.
He does-
He does it all. Marketing, promotions, the
Okay.
foot up the behind when you need it. He does it all.
Nice. That's what's up. So I gotta ask, when did you guys come together?
Oh, I don't know. It's like we've always been kindred spirits, but I will say, my first album with we did with Slag Records. That you did the first track for me.
Yes, first track.
But we met each other prior to that, just from the social circle that we were hanging in.
Okay.
And somehow Adam and I just automatically gravitated
Okay.
towards one another. It's, synergy.
Right.
So
Right.
that was created, and we've been co-partners ever since. A lot of my material, if people pay close attention, if you check out some of the backgrounds on my material, that's him singing.
Okay.
We killing the background.
Really?
So, background singer too, you can add to his
Okay.
repertoire.
Yes, we need to add
So he
that.
does it all. So that's how we became together. But he did a mix on a song that I did for Slag Records called Groovin'.
Okay.
And he did an absolutely beautiful mix
Thank
that
you.
I sing to this day.
Okay.
And he did a mix of Groovin' that appears on the album. There's 2 mixes on the album, Groovin', but one of them is the mix by Mixtape Session. So that's how we became together. And then we've just been together ever since. Then he saw that I had a talent, and we just started doing music together.
Nice.
And I think we've done over a dozen and a half songs by now.
Oh, wow.
Fall in Love.
We've
Shake.
co-written songs for other people
Lots of
for their
songs.
albums. We've done for ourselves. I record stuff for Adam. Adam comes and records stuff for me. I had the opportunity to sing on his sister's album with that beautiful, beautiful song. The one that I like.
No Regrets.
No Regrets. Oh, so it's about working together and creating energy, synergy,
Definitely.
and having a passion
Yes.
for
Right.
the same thing.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
Right. Absolutely. So when you guys are performing, have you performed together? First
Yes,
of all,
we have.
Yes.
Okay.
DJ Pack,
So
Sounds
you-
of the City.
Sound of the City,
Yeah.
NJ
Okay.
Pack.
Okay.
We performed there.
Lincoln Park, don't forget.
Lincoln Park, Canterbury Park. So we do a lot of festivals outside of what we do when we have the opportunity to do so. Adam will either DJ or he'll DJ and perform as well. I don't DJ, not yet anyway.
Are you gonna, I was about to say, have you tried?
Well, put it this together. I have done it in a younger passion and time.
Okay.
But Adam has been talking with me, and he does this series called what was it? The
Mixtape Sessions
the Masterclass.
Masterclass, yes.
Mixtape Session Masterclass.
Okay.
And when he started that, I said, you know what? I want to do something, but I want to do something more on the mellow soulful house. So it's going to
Okay.
come together.
Okay.
Now, as far as mixing, that's going to be up to him. I'm just going to pick the records.
hey, teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes, teamwork makes the dream work. Yes.
Absolutely. So it's safe to say that you guys are your support system.
Yes.
So you
Definitely.
okay?
Well, as we have learned, you have to have a support system.
Absolutely.
And you have to have a support system where you both see the same vision.
Right.
at the end of the tunnel, whether you're working together for that vision or one as a support system encouraging and pushing forward.
Mm-hmm.
You know, again, even with a support system, you still have to tout your own stuff.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Wow.
And it's about also, like, if I could just add that we need to remind ourselves that it's better to create your own opportunity instead of waiting around for someone to say, hey, it's your turn. You need to come up on this stage. And it's better that you create your own opportunity, because eventually the other opportunities come as well. But I noticed that it's always always better to serve yourself by looking for opportunities for yourself, as opposed to thinking, why isn't somebody putting me on?
Right.
Or why am I not getting my shine at this time? You make your own opportunity.
Right. Okay.
And that could be your own party. That could be your own radio show.
Right.
You know.
Right. And you know, nobody knows knows about creating your own opportunities and your own lanes better than me. So.
Yes, exactly. That's what it is, you know, and I applaud that a lot. That's part of why we love the Champagne Room, to be honest. Is because
Yes.
it is a lot about independence, DIY, do it yourself. You know.
And community. And,
Yes.
you know, and that's one of the things that all of us share.
Right,
Because that's how I
right.
initially met you.
Right.
I was doing the function down at Glenfield Park. Our first
in Montclair, right? Yep, Montclair.
For the Jersey DJs. We
Okay.
were doing a fundraiser for the neighborhood child care center.
Yep.
And this cute little woman came up to me with her troop of dancers.
Yes. I love that.
Pushy. But, you know, you couldn't help but love her because she was all about the children. And with that, you just saw how many of those young kids have blossomed to now where I think some of them are choreographers.
Yes, they do choreography.
So,
and
you know,
yes,
they've
they're
done
doing
all
a lot
that.
of good
But
stuff.
this woman here, she's created opportunities for me. So I thank you for the many opportunities that you have created and that you continue to create. So as we find, it's about, like you say, teamwork,
Right.
but it's also about the network.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Absolutely. And I always say how important it is to network, to build relationships,
Yes.
and just, you know, get to know people,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of times it just takes just that.
Yes.
Just really getting to know people. Like with getting
That
to
personal
know Eddie,
connection.
right? I was able to do other things, you know, with him and for him, and him doing things for me, you know. So that's basically what it's about, you know. But
It's
a lot
about
of people,
being open.
right?
Open and sharing information, and if the information doesn't work for you, being honest enough to say so,
Absolutely.
and to keep it and to find out, well, what can we do that works for all of us,
For everybody,
but
right.
not just for us, but what's best for whatever the function is or whatever the community we're serving, because it all boils down to is who are we trying to get, who are we serving.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. And also the outside support.
Mhm.
Yes.
Outside of your circle, how is the support outside of what it is that you guys are
Ooh,
doing?
it's a hustle.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, it's honestly a hustle. Both Adam and I have been in the music industry for quite some time. I go back to '94.
Okay.
And I've had many opportunities as a background singer. So I've recorded with 95 North. I've recorded with Philip Ramirez, Bijan Mann. Had the opportunity to sing behind Barry Manilow with my choir
Barry
a couple of years
Manilow.
ago. So, you know, we always get all these opportunities, and it's just what do you do to make them either bigger or better, and what direction do you want to go in?
Right.
And once you find that direction, who's on board with you?
Absolutely. And I think that is really important because there's so much talent that's out here, and it's so many people that claim to want to help the talent that's out here. And then not only that, because I got to take it a step further, because you know me, Eddie, and you know how I am. I'm gonna take it a step further. I got to say some stuff.
Is there a bomb
Okay?
dropping
There's
in applause?
yes,
My
I gotta
imaginary
hit
headphones.
explosion. Yes, we gonna put an explosion here. Yeah, I'm about to drop a bomb. But no, seriously, there are a lot of people out here that know your worth, that know what you're capable of, but when it comes to payola, that's a problem. How can you see me pack houses, you know, like I'm talking about you, Adam.
Yep.
I'm talking about you, see you packing houses, see you doing the hosting on Lincoln Park and all of the big events, and see you guys doing the big things that you're doing, but still have a problem with paying you appropriately
because people have a tendency to be cheap, and but we also artists, producers, and others. The only way people are cheap to us is because we allow them to be.
Right.
And when you make that allowance, you get what you get.
Mm-hmm.
And like again this year with me getting ready to do a lot of the festivals, yeah, I'll be going up on my price.
That's right. That's right.
If you want me, you'll pay it. If not, keep it moving. Because again, you cannot continue to be paid a fraction of what you're worth.
Of what
like
you're
we
worth.
get paid a fraction of our songs.
Right.
I think the other point too is that there's often in house music we talk about plur. That's peace, love, unity, and respect.
Okay.
Ever heard that before?
Okay.
Plur?
No.
Okay, so that was something that's been around in house music for a long time. And it really is. If you hear the lyrics of house music, everything's uplifting. We lift our hands in the sanctuary.
Yes.
Peace, very gospel, Christian, all of that, and that's beautiful, right? I think that the big secret, however, is that we're not getting really paid enough to make it so that when you step to that person, you may not have what you think they should be worth.
Right.
And so instead of communicating that in a direct way, we'll use other tactics. Some of us are unhealthy, so we might be passive aggressive, or we might assume or presume. So I
Right.
think the first thing out of the gate is to be 100% honest.
That's
with the
right.
person you wanna work
Straightforward.
with.
That's right. That's right.
And tell them that what the budget is, that what you have up front. We just talked about that, how oftentimes you get hit up to be involved in something.
Right.
And that they don't give you particulars. Particulars always have to include cash.
Right.
And what I mean is, you have to say, you are to be here on this day, between this hour and that day, we are going to pay you at this much.
X amount of dollars.
Right.
Or, listen, we're going to pay you zero. In exchange for zero, you're going to get this, this, and this. Do you
Right.
agree? And which, at that point, is up to you to say, you know what, I pass. Thank
Right.
you. Or,
Right.
sure, I'll be there anyway.
And
Right.
what I often do now is when people start acting like they don't have no money, I said, well, you know what they do in the church. I said, they collect a love offering.
That's right.
Give me a love offering.
Right.
Love offering covers transportation
Right.
and something to
Right.
eat. So,
Right.
if you can't pay me, make me a love offering.
And I also want to make one other point that perception is really kind of funky sometimes. What I mean is accolades and praise and props are beautiful things. Kudos are wonderful.
Right.
But accolades do not pay the bill.
No,
That's
they don't.
right. That's
Likes
right.
and clicks and comments
Do not pay the
do
bills.
not keep that
Well-
light on.
Well,
Right.
but then again,
Absolutely.
And I
Believe
think
me.
oftentimes we see if someone's doing a lot or shining in your mind, I'm just saying you as a generalization, that there's misperception out there that means that whatever that means to you.
Right.
But that's not based in reality. That's
Right.
just what you're perceiving about someone, right? So I think if we, maybe for 2018, part of our New Year's thing is to be more transparent and to keep it 100% real. Well, how many times, even you started, said, you know how I am, Eddie. I say what I'm going to say. Like, we all need to be that way
That's
about
right.
this business because we have a really talented community.
Right.
And we often don't talk to each other, so we don't know
Right.
the particular goings on.
Or-
we presume or assume.
or in the community, we have the people that try to use those that they know that have
Oh,
the
yeah.
talent
Oh, yeah.
to make themselves shine.
Right.
And in making themselves shine, we'll put you on the stage, but while we're putting you up on the stage, this is all for me. This
Right.
is all for my
Right.
ego.
Right.
So I
Right.
don't have the dollars, but I want to take the
Right.
shine.
Which is the other takeaway then is keep your circle small.
Small.
Right.
Because it's nice to want to open yourself up to different things. However, you got to be careful
Right.
because you might get stung in the process. Just innocently trying to keep yourself open to the universe, right? So we have to be careful, and that's why our particular circle, we're celebrating 10 years of mixtape sessions. Our artists are within
yes.
two
I gotta
hands.
give you some
Because
applause.
thank you. Because of that, I think that motto. That's part of our motto.
Oh, yes. Very good.
don't be afraid to say no.
Yes.
Right.
Don't be afraid to say no. If something has been offered to you and you see it's not a good fit for you, don't be afraid to say no.
Right. Right.
And they often say the first offer you get monetarily, reject. You get them to come back again and say, "Can you come back with a little more?"
Right.
just out of the gate. See, so we're giving you a few takeaways, people.
Yes, yes, we dropping jewels. Y'all getting these jewels dropped. Y'all getting these free jewels dropped up in here, up in here. Y'all know what happens on the Champagne Room radio show. Y'all get all them free jewels, and then y'all go somewhere and don't even send a donation.
Okay, thank you.
But give a shout out and say I learned that on the Champagne Room.
That's right. That's right. So let's talk about that now. This whole 10-year thing. We got to talk about that.
Okay, so February 28, 2008, myself and my sister Flora Cruz, shout out to you, Flora. I think she's tuned in. We released her Overcome EP. It had a great set of songs. Let the Sun Shine Out was a big record for us. Overcome, Beat That Drum, and No Regrets, which we had Eddie Nicholas do background on that. And then after that, I wanted to create a lot of music. I went back to school, learned more about production, and then I wanted to start singing, not because I aspired to be a singer.
Right.
I really did it because I was writing more songs than I was recording. And one day, I think I might have gotten with Eddie or someone. I said, okay, the song goes like this, and I went to recall it and I couldn't. And I said, oh, never again. So I decided to do vocal refs, and with the idea that they'll hear my vocal, but it's really for them, right?
Okay.
And then over the years, I just said,
Do it myself?
Yeah, and I got an encouraging word from my sister Flora, from Eddie, and from others. Why not try to? And I started with background vocals, and I did spoken word, and I just tried different things. And then now I mostly only sing on my stuff.
And one of the things that I really encourage Adam, because he's bilingual, and he's Puerto Rican, I said, you need to start singing more of your Spanish language.
Yes, give me some
including that in your packages, because the dual language it opens up to a wider audience.
Exactly, absolutely. So now you're stepping on different platforms. You're stepping on platforms that other artists can't step on because of that. So yeah, absolutely.
And that's why by the time I got to the third album, because I had 1, 2, 3 learning about myself, got to this third album of mine and released a lot of mostly Spanish language music.
Nice.
Salsa, reggaeton.
Right.
See, he can roll them R's. I can't roll reggaeton. I can't roll them R's. He had me and he had me do the little ditty Goomba.
Yes.
Okay.
Which has been re-released on my album in a fantastic mix by these guys from South Africa.
Right.
Oh, wow.
So
Three
Kings, thank you, because my mom was going to go blank. Yeah. So he had me singing Spanish. So I said, Adam, my tongue does not let me flip like that.
But he did it. We did a few takes. I'm like, you can do it. And I would write it. Baila gumba, si señor. And he would do it.
And I would do it. So we finally got it. And, I was like, see, only you.
Yes, but you got it. So practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. You keep doing it, and you finally got it. That's a good thing. So what about this thing that you got going on? What's going on with this beautiful? What is it? An EP? Is it EP?
Album.
It's an album.
This is a full 16 track album.
16 tracks.
It's taken years, and again, thanks to Adam, because he was always gently in my back.
Okay.
Come on, Eddie, we got to get this done. For me, it was just a matter of sitting back and trying to think, do I have a body of work that people would be interested in?
Right.
And reflecting back to 1994, to when I first started, to where I'm at now in 2018. So it took a lot of years to decide what I wanted to do, what did I want to be on the album.
Right.
So I literally had to go back and look at what I recorded over the years.
Okay.
And the thing with me, I have also been blessed to be able to get different interpretations from different producers so that keep my music, I guess, in step in time with what's now. Because a lot of the stuff on the album has either been remixed or it has been unreleased.
Okay.
So people are getting those type of gems, and in all long extended play. Your usual albums only have songs for about 3 or 4 minutes. My songs are extended dance tracks, but it's about life. And in doing the album, Adam asked me, so, well, what does your album mean when you talk about do you want to dance? Because not only is it not a typical dance album, but it has a touch of techno, a touch of gospel, a touch of jazz, a touch of house, a touch of R&B. So it touches on a whole bunch of different influences because that's how I've influenced. Coming from a baby from the 60s from Motown to living through the whole disco era,
Right.
which I was definitely a part of, you know, swinging in a lot of the clubs, the Clubhouse, Washington, D.C., Paradise Garage. So all of that came into play with this album. Do You Want to Dance is about the dance of life.
Yes.
It's about loving one another. How do we communicate with each other? When you go to work, that's a dance. When you with your children, that's a dance. How do you dance? How do we move together in unison and in sync to make something work?
Right.
So that's what I meant by Do You Want to Dance? And the album talks about love. It talks about relationships. It talks about spirituality. It talks about loss, because I do have a song on there called Missing You that I dedicated to my dad, even though I previously recorded that years before it came back again. One of the cuts on the album that I was determined to do was a remake of Gene Carnes' Was That All It Was? So by the grace of Mr. Jalal Johnson, who was able to secure musicians, because the whole track is live that they did. He gave me a wonderful track that I was able to record to. And Was That All It Was came from a pipe dream to a likelihood. Again, a lot of the things that when I met Adam, when I met Rashmi Mantry, and I met Glenn, all of my stuff in my head was a pipe dream. To be able to meet three people who really did not really want anything but to help me move my career forward, their careers forward. Together, we all move forward. So I've been an artist who has been blessed to be able to record for 3 labels.
Okay.
So,
All right.
you know, have we made any money? No, but we got a repertoire out there that speaks volumes for itself. So with that, it was a blessing. And as I said, it took me a long time to get the album, and we finally did it. So on December 31st,
Beautiful.
2017, New Year's Eve, the album dropped.
Nice.
And now it's about the hustle.
Yes.
Right. So are you looking to actually take it international? Because with the house music and the kind of music that you guys do, it's definitely the people that are like the people that are watching the 232 countries. Hi guys, the people that are watching you know, they love that music, and for whatever reason, it seems as if when you leave here outside of the U.S., you kind of get more love. You kind of get, you know, more people that want that music.
Well, that's where we talk about the networking.
Right.
However, one does find that a lot of the people that have that networking power have not decided to network. They've networked in there where they're at. They choose and pick who they want to bring along. So it's not a matter of, you know, hey, here's a phone number.
Right.
Here's who you need to contact for international bookings and all of that type of stuff.
Right.
It needs to be a sharing. I've traveled.
Right.
You know, do I want to travel again? Yes, I do. Hopefully with this album, people will be picking up the telephone call, but it's all about the support. And one of the things that we have found here, it used to be when DJs got music, whether they liked it or not, they tried it out on the crowd.
Right.
Here you have some DJs that already have their preconceived notion of what they like, and they allow what they like, which is not a bad thing. But when it's about promoting new music, put it out there for the public to pick and choose.
Right.
By one not playing something, they've already made the decision when they have the music.
Right.
And it's just a matter of putting it on at the right time. So that in itself is another support hustle that you have to go through.
I do want to add one other thing, which is going back to making your own opportunity, which is part of what we did was to start a music business program where we are on FM radio in Sudan, Africa.
Okay.
So we've tapped into a market that broadcasts to 8 million people every single day.
Okay.
And so the point of why I'm bringing this up is to say
diversity.
That you have to diversify where you're looking at, because oftentimes the issues that Eddie raises, what's happening locally is correct and it's accurate. but it doesn't mean that you just go, okay, now I can't
And
get
give up.
anywhere.
You keep it
Give up.
moving.
Right.
You find other pockets. I mean, go down to D.C. I've made some inroads there. Go down to Baltimore. Go down to Philly. Go down to Miami. Go across the pond to Amsterdam.
Right.
Attend the ADE, the Amsterdam Dance Event.
Right.
Or in our case, start a radio station and see if there's someone that could get down with you. And in our case, we got down with Capital Radio out in Sudan. So shout out to Taha and the whole crew there. And so what we're doing is pairing what we do with other things. So new albums, new releases are paired with new seasons of shows, or we launched a new app for our music business program.
Nice.
So search out Freedom Radio Hour. So it's about pairing and understanding that there's more to life than your four corners of your walls or even just your backyard.
Right.
And while you're still down with your local community and you ought to serve your community, you got to think outside the box, jump across that pond, and think about other continents. You know, that's why if you pick up Eddie's album, you'll see there's the South African producers, a producer from Switzerland. You know what I'm saying? Producers from this way. So I think that speaks to Eddie's ability to work in a lot of different circles, both globally and locally.
Right.
And again, it's the call on networking. And I always say, if one uses social media correctly,
Yes. That's
They
the
will
key word.
correct-
Correctly.
Right.
you will meet the people that you aspire to meet, and you'll get a lot of things done just by you reaching out and communicating.
Right. Right. Well, I've been playing your music while you guys were talking,
Oh,
so
thank
I just want you guys to know that. So you probably like, what is Tanya over there doing?
I saw the head bob. I'm like,
I see her going over. I see her turning around and doing.
I saw the shoulder
I'm
shrug.
like, yeah, I'm listening to Diamond Girl.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's that Spanish language I'm talking about.
Yes.
And that song is about his daughters.
Oh wow, wow, beautiful. So that's another thing. I guess it's another question that I wanted to ask you guys. When you are doing your when you are deciding what kind of music you're doing or what lyrics or whatever, do you I guess this would be for Eddie first. Do you need to hear the track first,
Well-
and then you write to that, or how does that work?
Both ways.
Okay.
Because often I already have a song in my head, and I may go over to Adam and he puts a track down, and I go, boom, well, I wrote these words X amount of years ago, and now these words fit here, such is the case with my song, This Must Be Love.
Right.
That song, I already had the words written. I wrote that song back in 1995.
Okay.
But in 2015, I was sent a track from South Africa that fit the lyrics perfectly. And that was just
And sometimes it's like,
osmosis.
yes, and sometimes it's like just walking down the street. Eddie will be like, I've had this refrain in my head stuck in so long. That was one
The
of
birthday
the songs.
song.
Yes, and in that same exercise of us coming up with something, Eddie had this refrain around this song called "Is There Love," and that's also on the album. And that turned out to be his big sort of pop record.
Okay,
because
okay.
Eddie's like, I always had this idea to sing "Is There Love There Where You Live," and we'd be in the park or walking down the street or whatever, and it'd be like, okay, so we get together. He said, don't forget that song. And, or, I said, what do you think of this? And I just delivered this sort of pop sound, because when I first heard it, I'm like, this is like somebody's Britney Spears or somebody, It had a pop feel.
Which
to it.
any one of those people can record any of the songs that we've written.
Yes, that's right. You got to. It's all kinds of ways to make the money.
Exactly.
But
kinds
for
of
me,
ways.
that that's how it works. Or like with Adam, some of the songs I've come up with, he's already written out for me. Well, I need you to sing it this way.
Okay.
But in singing it that way, but I need you to add a little Eddie Nicholas flavor.
Right.
So that that's how it was and is with me. Words just pop in my head. Even when I'm teaching with the kids, they may say a little word and I automatically go into song. We were doing a radio show just Friday.
Okay.
And all of a sudden he said something, get on the good foot, and all of a sudden I went to James Brown. So, it's little things like that our minds are always ticking.
Right.
And as we use the words, we're creatives.
Right.
So I
Right.
like that word. And so, that's how it works for me. Either something that has touched my life or something that I've seen, or just I've just heard just heard a song, give me a melody,
Right,
and I
right.
just do together a whole bunch of quick words. I'm very well known for just jumping on the mic and singing
Oh,
anything.
you will sing. Yes, you will. Yes.
But it comes out making sense. That's the crazy thing. It comes out making sense. You know, on a number of occasions, I've sung someplace and people are coming up to me thinking that it's an actual record. No, that's me just freestyle.
Just doing your thing.
Just
That's
doing my
right.
thing, carrying on.
Some things are just natural.
So that's what it is for me. What about you, Adam?
I just feel like this. I'm lucky that I get to know Eddie so long that he has this ability to improv like that on stage, and oftentimes, songs like Groove in this newest version that's on the album, for example, is him performing the song live and forgetting the lyrics and making new lyrics up on the fly, and keep doing that over time. And all of a sudden, it was a new song, and so we re-recorded the song because he was doing this sort of. I've always admired that, and he takes little things, little quirks in his personality. We got to keep the show going. He always says that. We always got to keep the show going.
That's right.
And he keeps it flying, and he doesn't stop. And I think that speaks to his artistry. And he's influenced me when I record, and I have to get outside of myself and, get over my timidness. And
Right.
stuff.
Timidness, please. You need to stop.
Yeah, and just project and get that, get that song out.
Right. Well, I do that with the kids too. I always let them know, like, the show must go on
show must
regardless
go
of
on.
what.
Yes.
The people out there don't know that you made a mistake.
Right.
Keep moving.
And
keep
even-
singing.
Tell them.
Keep
Until you
doing
tell
it.
them.
And
That's
even
right.
if you make a mistake, you keep it going.
That's right.
Because people will forgive mistakes.
Right. And at the end of the day, they still want to be entertained.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So don't stop. Don't ever stop.
Keep it going.
So yeah, I make sure I instill that in all of my kids.
Yeah.
But I love them because
And
they
I always envision
envision
this thing, especially now it's been the Olympics. You ever notice figure skating? And they do that big jump,
Right.
triple axel, and sometimes they fall. Everybody goes, and then all of a sudden, all you want to see is them get up,
Right.
and try again.
That's
Some other
right.
thing, and they'll get that great score. It might not be a 10 now, but
Right.
it'll be that great score because they didn't stop and they found a way to get back into the groove of it.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's what I love. I'm listening to the what's it? Goomba.
Bala
Yes.
boomba. Bala.
Three Kings, South African producers.
Nice. I have artists that are in Lagos, Nigeria that send me their music because I do a whole international hour on the radio station. And so I have music from all over Haiti, London,
Great.
Nigeria, Liberia, just different places in West Africa and everything, and it's just a beautiful thing.
Yes.
So I know I want to do like an international show one day. That's my big vision to get just do Wellsburg Park because I'm the president of
Yes.
Wellsburg Park Conservancy, so I bring events to Wellsburg Park.
Great.
So I really want to just do this one big. Just bring them from wherever they can come from and just, and let them experience in New Jersey, right?
Yes,
That's just
absolutely.
crazy,
That
but
sounds
that's what I
fabulous.
want to do, But I believe that you do more than just singing, Mr. Eddie Nicholas
Yes,
is
sure.
there. Okay,
I'm always
okay.
talking
I
about
done
that. I
saw
agree.
you in some movies.
Yes,
All right,
yes.
So let's talk about
And
that.
a matter of fact, A Sub in the Brick City was the movie that I'm in.
Yes.
And A Sub in the Brick City has been entered in the first Bergen County Film Festival.
Okay.
Which kicks off tomorrow. Tonight is the gala.
Yes.
And we did that movie, I believe, in 2015.
Yep.
And the movie has garnered several awards, some international
It's been
awards.
in a couple of different film festivals.
And won.
Yeah. Yes.
And won.
Yes.
Great.
And
I'm so proud.
again, for it to be 2018 and for this movie to basically be pulled off the shelf again speaks volumes to the writing. And hopefully, if we win this award, the young lady, shout out Shawnee Stevens.
Hey, Shawnee.
She'll be able to go out and get support.
Absolutely.
To finish because the way that the movie ended,
It's not
there was
done.
a part two.
Right.
You were in the audience. You know
Yes.
we were all there, and that's
Yes.
one of the good things. As you said, I do so many things. We all do so many things. We all wear so many hats. Not only did I catch a little of the acting bug, and I'm glad of that now. I just got to go and get my little cards and all of that type
Right,
of my equity
Right.
cards and all that type of stuff. But I've also been blessed, to work with senior citizens. I do a lot of work in the community with senior citizens.
I
help
saw that
feed the senior
too.
citizens
Yes.
and do all of that. And I also teach kids.
Okay.
So I work in the after school program where I'm working with kids doing that. And my latest thing that I just happen to do, I've now become a journalist.
Love that.
So I've had the opportunity. Thank you, Natalie Heard. We were just on her show.
All right.
And in doing that, I've now have stuff written and published.
Nice.
Tap into Montclair. So
Very
I've now been able
good.
to add that, as well as the summer's coming. My MC and hosting and all of that is getting ready to pick up. So I'm looking forward to all of that. As we always said, find out how you can diversify. You know, a lot of people to this day still don't know that I sing, and I've been singing since '95, or they just have not gravitated towards me singing because they see me doing so much other stuff.
Right.
So I'm very glad to be recognized for the hosting. So with the hosting, I always manage to bring a little bit of me singing.
And
singing to the
that's one
stage,
thing
too.
that's great about hosting, because you can, even when you're hosting, you got an intermission. Oh, I'm about to sing y'all song.
Yeah,
You
You
can
get
do
it,
that. Have
yes.
you ever tried hosting?
Yes,
Adam?
I've done. Well, as a matter of fact, it's a perfect segue. I am hosting a monthly party called New Jersey Drive.
Okay.
It's an art, music, and community service event.
Okay.
We've hosted coat drives, and now we're doing a voter registration.
Nice.
And so every month we're doing it at the Afro-Brazilian Cultural Center of New Jersey. It's on the avenue in Bloomfield, New Jersey,
Right,
next
Bloomfield.
to the IHOP.
Okay.
And
yeah.
so we host. Our next one is March 24th.
Okay.
And so we interview creatives. We invite creatives to come and mingle and network. We
Oh,
play
wow.
old school hip hop and R&B and dance hall and house music and have fun. We make arroz gandules. There I am with rolling my R's.
Yes.
And we just
Gandules.
And Adam has me in the kitchen working as a house slave,
Stop it. No. Never that.
fixing vittles. But no, and that's the other hat that I wear. For that particular function and functions that I have done in the past, I always make sure that we have a festive spread wherever we go. So I also cook as well.
Okay.
Right. And so that's part of what we're doing. We
about.
like it. I think the point here is that create a portfolio of work that altogether makes a living for yourself and makes you happy.
Right.
And so that portfolio consists, for Eddie, is hosting, songwriting, performing, background vocals, vocal arranging, choir arrangements.
Okay.
I mean, all kinds of stuff. So that's the thing, is about tapping into not just one kind of talent.
Right.
The many.
They're many.
Right.
And also realizing that even with talent, it's not enough.
Right.
In this day and age, you can't just be talented.
Right.
You can't just be skillful at something. You have to look at things in a broader sense now. It's just the way the world works.
Yeah.
And you either adapt or die, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And again, it all goes back down to the hustle.
Yes. And I think
It's a big hustle, because now with the album release and with Adam getting ready to release his album and his singles, and also with the other artists that we have on the label.
Okay.
Shout out Jaqueen.
Oh, I was
Yes.
about to say, I got other artists on
Yes,
the
I'm about
Uh-huh.
to tell you right now.
How do you once you put out that release, what do you do next? Adam has taught me this thing about windowing.
Okay.
And with windowing, when my album first dropped, it went onto my Bandcamp page.
Okay.
So his website.
My own website. So that's where you first went to it. After that, we waited, about 2 or 3 months?
About 2 months.
2 months, and then the next it came out on what we considered one of the major dance labels for people to go and purchase their music. So in this instance, it was Track Source.
Okay.
After that, we waited a couple of extra months, and within about a month or two,
Yeah, so now basically
it was worldwide.
Yeah,
Right.
now it's available everywhere, and we
Nice.
did that in conjunction with the 10-year anniversary. So on February 28th, Eddie's album became available everywhere. So on Tidal,
Wow,
Spotify,
beautiful.
Amazon, all everywhere, literally. YouTube,
Beautiful.
you search him out, his album comes up. Right?
Beautiful.
But the idea of windowing is that you pace out the interest of the project in three
Right.
different ways. And also fiscally, when you are launching, say, your own Bandcamp, you get more closest to the full dollar
Right.
than you do messing with TrackSource or any other website.
Okay.
It's just
Because
the
they
nature
get a
of the beast.
percentage.
Right.
And so while Bandcamp also takes a percentage, it's less than the others. So
Right.
we window there first, try to get that first chunk of the dollar, then window to the second,
Right.
and then the third, and so on. And
Right.
then everything becomes another reason to celebrate and pair it with something else. So
Exactly.
In Eddie's case, we use the launch of our 8th season of the Freedom Radio Hour to promote his album. Then we have our New Jersey Drive event. We
Okay.
tell people come through, and we all come to support his album and the others on the label. Those include Jacqueline Graham, who we just released the Jock Queen EP.
Okay.
That's on Mixtape Says. That's available everywhere.
Okay.
Manchild Black. He's out of New York. He's part of the Illustrious Blacks. We've done a bunch of records. His record is My Mind's Eye EP. It's kind of hip hop and soul and
Okay.
R&B, good stuff there. And then I've worked with the Broadway star Lilius White. We did 2 songs together. And just working on
Josh
more.
Milan.
Josh Milan. He and I
Okay.
started Honeycomb Music 8 years ago as a record label.
Wow.
And then 8 years later, we just had a lot more planned for this year for Honeycomb. Shout out to Josh Milan. And also Josh has released an EP on Mixtape Sessions entitled The Black Electronica EP. So shout out to Josh Milan and Jared O and Queen Amina and just everybody who's performed on the label or done some records for us. So Queen Amina and I did a record called Really Love You.
Which I love. Which I really love.
That's a jazz record where I sampled Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, and I
Okay.
got their permission from their estate to release it, the music. So Queen Amina and I wrote this song called Really Love You, and that was released on my first album. And so it starts this journey. My point of bringing all this up is to say part of what we're doing is creating this portfolio of work and experience.
Right.
And this author, Malcolm Gladwell, talked about anything you want to be good at in your life, you have to put what's called your 10,000 hours in, and you chip away. And all that is practice over and over and over. You can be great at anything as long as you do it over and over and
Right,
over again.
right.
And so the point is you could become whatever you dream you could become as long as you practice and practice and practice towards that craft, right?
That's right.
As
That's
it calls, you do great to become proficient.
Yes. And so part of the starting the label 10 years ago was that. Part of starting Freedom Radio Hours to share what I'm learning in the music business. Say, hey, do you know about royalties? You know you're not getting paid when
Right.
you're supposed to. Did
And,
you know
and
that?
see, one of the things Adam did not tell you, he's the former vice president of West End Records.
Okay, no, he
so
didn't tell me that.
He got the opportunity to do that, and I say this because Adam also is a distributor.
Distributor. Okay.
And as
Nice.
we all find out, yeah, you got your music, but who's going to distribute it?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So when it comes to one having their own label such as Mixtape Sessions, what a joy to be able to create your own music and then to have your own vehicle to be able to release it.
Right,
So
right.
therefore, when we do songs for other people, we have now included the option that if you are not really interested in what we sent you, we want to take the master.
Okay.
Right.
Because
Okay.
we have a vehicle to be able to push it through
Our
our
own.
own.
Right. Right.
Without having to worry about having to get accountability
Right,
from somebody
right,
else.
right.
When we can do it. And I'm just learning this from this guy myself, for the mere fact that a couple of songs we have written, he'll look at me and like, now you know we can release that on our own. Point blank.
That's
But
right.
I'm always like, well, let's see what someone else can do, and if that does not work out, we'll make sure that we include something in the
But
clause.
listen,
Right.
Tanya, in this day and age, you have to do more
Yeah.
to release
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
record. I
Yeah.
can't tell you how many times we put so much into all these songs between our own projects and projects for others.
Other people?
Right.
That when they put it out, and not put any intention or care towards it. And what we mean is figure out a strategy. What is that for you? You don't have to promise the moon and the stars.
Right,
But you
right.
have to be real about what you're able to do and then deliver that all the way.
Right.
And I can't tell you how many times we've done records where we're just disappointed because they do the equivalent of throwing paint on the wall and watching it drip.
Watching it drip.
And that's just putting the record out and doing nothing much else after that. And that's just not good enough today.
Right. Right. Not at all.
And
Not
as
at
we
all.
know, the artist has to be the one to really push it.
Right.
But at the same token, when it first goes out there, there should be a push from whatever label
Right.
is doing it. So
Right.
you have to protect yourself. So therefore, if y'all don't like it, okay, we'll put it out ourselves.
Right.
And
Well,
like
you.
I said before, because that accolades, you cannot pay a bill with no accolades.
That's right. That's right.
That's why there has to be a strategy. There has to be.
So the strategy is, and what I kind of tell a lot of the artists that I work with, because I still do the whole platform, the Top Mics tour with the
Great.
the
And I
open
think you did
mics
something
and all of that
recently,
stuff.
didn't you?
Yeah, I do so much. I done did something, but I do so much, but I do tell them, I tell the artists, especially if they're talking about labels. I actually had They call themselves ODM. They were here, and it's a bunch of them, a bunch of artists, you know, and they're pushing the one artist. This is what you do: push that one artist, let him get to where he needs to get to. Then he can kind of pull you in, you know, instead as opposed to trying to do 3, 4, and 5 different artists at one time, and you know that's just kind of working backwards. I think that's kind of working backwards. So, you know, the strategy that you guys are using, I see it definitely.
And not
can
only
work.
that, it takes the patience of Job. And this is why when he refers to as keeping people close to you in a small little nucleus, you learn to know people.
Right.
And when you're that close to them, you know when people don't want to be bothered.
Right.
You know when people are having a bad day. You know what you can pull out of them because you know them.
Right.
And you know what they're capable of doing. So you become an encouraging factor in order to get the project that you want done and to get a successful project. So, you know, that's the blessing of working independently with someone and then working with someone who's aware of your quirks. Because, you know, to be quite honest, like I tell Adam, I say thank you every day for sticking with me, because I'm like, if I was you, I would have walked off a long time because you take too long. You know, but he stuck with me, supported me, encouraged me, to where we now have a 16 full track
Beautiful
album. And I'm extremely proud of it because, as I say, you know, I was the first male on December 31st to drop a full-fledged album in the house community.
That's right.
And we say this because we don't get many full-fledged albums from the dance community.
Right.
You'll get a song with about 8 or 10 or 12 mixes. In this case in point, we did a 16-track song that I'm trusting, and not so much trusting because I'll network it to where each one of those songs will have a remix, and from that album we plan to release a series of singles from the album.
Okay.
So, you know, we have plans. We have plans.
Right. Good. And that's
a strategy. That's
strategies. Right. And that's a beautiful thing because that's what you have to do. You have to strategize.
Yeah, we don't play. We got a three-tiered approach. We got a past, present, future. We got a spring, summer, fall.
Awesome. So it's basically as if you do something every quarter and then you come with that whole full year. Absolutely. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there's a lot of things that come in between, like radio shows.
Yes.
I also dab into film, so a lot of sound mixing.
Right.
So I have a film out on Amazon now, Hillary the Film. So check that out. So we're trying to dab.
And I got to check that out too because he said some of our music is up in it.
No regrets.
So, you know, it's about, again, creating opportunities. We all are doing so much things, you know, even with me having the opportunity to be in movies, I now can go to these people and say, I got some music.
Exactly.
Right.
Could this
Soundtracks.
Could this fit into this soundtrack? Into
Nowadays, it's soundtracks, it's commercials, it's even video games you can put your music
Now, that's
on.
one thing we have not
No, not yet, but we're going to work
tackled yet.
Okay.
As commercials, but we're coming for that next.
Hey,
But
do
listen, going back to support, I did want to make one thing, because it is 16 tracks and it's a beautiful album. I do want to say one thing. If there are DJs out there that are into the project, we thank you for listening to it, for downloading, for streaming it.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I also, because I love Eddie and I'm proud of him, I want to be a little bit sassy.
Okay.
You can't tell me if you're a taste-making DJ out there that you cannot find one song on that album
out of
that
16
you could rock with your crowd. So go find those tracks and then report back to us because we want to know from you.
Right.
What you think of the overall package, and also the song that really spoke to your crowd the most.
Right.
I think that's,
and I think that's so much more, not so much what you didn't like, but what spoke to you.
Right.
Because again, as I always told Adam, as I told Adam,
I know
you know, we have to realize people are very fickle when it comes to music, and a lot of times half the stuff that they're listening to now has already been out years before, and now people are just catching up with music that came out 2 and 3 or 4 years ago, thinking that the music is new because now all of a sudden X DJ or X producer either did it or it's now what they're rocking.
And many times I can't tell you that later on somebody will hear one of our songs and be like, "Oh, you need to send me that." I said, "I did."
And it's set in your dustbin.
It's and it expired.
And expired. The links expired.
Or something like that. And I'm, so it's about taking the time, right?
Right.
Because we're so things are happening so fast.
Right,
Tanya.
right.
So you got to take time to get into the things you're interested in.
And one of the things that Adam and I always tickle when he says you don't ever give up. Some of my songs have been recorded X amount of times. My one song, "You Left Me," which originally appeared on Slag Records,
Never left.
never left. That song is the most mixed catalog. That song, I can say, is the most mixed song on the Slag Record label
yeah.
when it comes
I
to
say
that.
that
And Groovin'. They have been remixed countless times, especially "You Left Me," because that was one of my favorite songs.
Right.
But again, when I sent it out, people have new visions, new interpretations.
Right.
And so we're getting ready to eventually do a deluxe package with all
Right, because there's more
of the
There's even
mixes,
more
mixes
work.
that people
Nice.
haven't even heard.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of getting all of that stuff out there. Please, I can't call him my big brother because he's my little brother. I want to be like him and get ready to go on my 4th album.
Okay.
But it takes time.
Right.
It takes time. It takes time and
Absolutely.
energy.
Absolutely. And do you because I hear Devious a lot of times on his show. He's always asking the house music artists that he interviews as far as the whole house music community. Do you find that there's a lot of cliques?
Well, of course we know there
You
are
know.
cliques, but I have a tendency to be above any cliques because
Okay.
I'm a man who follows my own drum.
Okay.
I have been blessed to be able to fit into other people's cliques but not become a part of them.
Okay.
Because I'm not a cliquish person. I'm about me and doing what I do. I ain't got time for people's foolishness, for their egos, because my ego is just as big as anybody.
Right.
So I keep it moving, and that's the thing, to be able to find somebody where your egos don't clash.
Yeah.
And
That's so important.
Yeah. Yeah.
because when egos don't clash, you don't get petty jealousies.
Right.
You
right.
don't get insecurity. You
Ex-
don't get any
absolutely.
of that type of stuff.
Absolutely.
So it's all about the relationships that
Right.
you establish
Right.
in order to move you on to whatever.
Because all of
Exactly.
all of this music creation is really vulnerable. You have to be vulnerable. It's kind of like a musical marriage, Eddie and I. I'm married with 3 children, but Eddie has been involved. He's been at my son's birth. He's at
Right,
parties.
right.
My daughters are adopted.
I was there but a couple of hours after he was
Fostered,
born.
all of them. And he's been involved in my wife and I's life forever. And
Right.
we also are married in terms of music.
Right.
So just
Right.
like that, we have to be vulnerable. You have to let ego aside. There are times when I've written a part of a song that I loved.
Okay.
I'm talking about Tropical Breeze.
Ooh, which I absolutely love, but I could not sing it at the time.
And the thing is, you have to be so open to allow yourself to let go of a song that you swore was going to work.
Right.
Write something completely fresh. And that's what happened in that. And that song became Fall
in Love.
which is
Oh,
also on the
okay.
album. Great
Okay.
record.
Which I
but-
think we sent to you as well.
Which
We
I
sent
think
you
I
Fall
just
in Love.
finished listening
So
to.
and again, you have to be open because, and I told Adam, I said, well, we need to revisit Tropical Breeze again
Right.
because it was a beautiful song, but he just had way too many words up in
Yeah,
there.
but that's but somebody who's too sensitive would be like, oh, they don't like my music and all. But
Right,
you have to go,
right.
you know what? Leave it alone. 'cause
And
we'll
like you
find-
said,
know.
and then I came back the next day and said, well, why don't you try this? And again, that's how we came up with Fall in
Fall in
Love, which
Love.
happens to be one of my favorites.
Yes, I was just listening to that.
Yeah, it's
Beautiful,
right.
beautiful,
Thank you.
beautiful. I love it. I love it. So Adam sent
We're
me
gonna
the.
send you the whole
he sent
album.
me the
We
song.
just sent
so
Oh,
you-
good.
You know, I get
You
the
a couple of-
exclusives
couple
here on.
of
That's
couple
right.
things.
We get the exclusive here on GS Radio
it.
Newark in Champagne Room.
I think you need
And
another
the
bomb
music,
drop.
yes, and the music always goes on the 24-hour playlist, so it can be played at any time,
Cool.
and it can be
Great.
heard anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, so I definitely make sure the music is being played in rotation,
Thank you.
so you guys don't have to ever worry about that because that's what I do.
You know, and again, just diversifying ourselves to where we now, as Adam made mention earlier, we do Freedom Radio.
Right.
You know, and he invited me there because he saw that I would be a good co-host with him. So we're like, to Abbott and Costello.
Yes.
Well, a lot of the news it could be boring. A lot of this, so I play sort of that straight character where I'm like,
This is Mr.
delivering-
Know-It-All.
Yeah, with the news and again all these facts, and it can get boring. And he comes in with like, that just means that I ain't getting no money. And he brings the real about it all.
Right.
You know? And
Right.
I needed that so much. So
Yeah.
it was very Albert and Costello.
Yeah, because it's the same thing with me. With like, I'm missing Mina not
Yes,
being here right
you
now.
heard me ask, where's Miss
Yes,
Mina? Where's
yes,
Miss Mina?
I'm missing her not being here right now. She had to do some things with her job. I'm not mad at her.
Yes,
That's
I get it.
that's where you get that money from.
Yeah,
You
sure.
go right ahead because she does it. We do this for free. We don't. We're not getting paid. For doing this. Even with me, with investing in everything that I did invest in to do this. It's I do it because I love it. So at the end of the day, when you love something, it's definitely not work. It's my passion. It's something that I wouldn't trade in in the world. So it's, if nothing else, I'm gonna try to expand on it and do more. But for the most part, I just love it. I just love it. And I get to meet great people like you guys, and you guys get to come on here and say what you want to say.
And and it's the same way with writing a song.
Yes.
When you've gotten to the point where you've written a song, you just stand back and it blows your mind.
Right.
And you realize that you created or done something that is special, then it's opening yourself up to the universe and putting it out to the universe and being ready for the spears and the arrows, whether they're love arrows or hate arrows,
Right.
to be shot. And it's how do you deal with that and keep pressing forward without falling into a depression or saying, oh, nobody likes my music, nobody likes this. I'm not going to lie. I've gone through that period where I've had self-doubt, where I was getting ready to the point, well, nobody's buying this, nobody's playing this. But then you get that one little phone call or that one little text or that one little post on your page where someone says, your song meant so much to me,
Right.
and did so much for me. So, music speaks volumes, we speak volumes. It's all how we interact and do with our music, and just us as humans, how do
Right.
we interact and deal with each other?
Exactly. So it's a beautiful thing. So is there anything else that you guys would like to talk about before we kind of end this, because it's getting late?
Yes.
Yeah, we got like 7
Quick
minutes.
plug.
Oh, we got 7. Oh my goodness! We just sit up here and talk.
7 minutes
Well,
to
thank you for having
11.
us, first of all.
Absolutely.
I want to make sure to do my shameless plug if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, you go plug it on
this
in.
Sunday, we're continuing our 10 years of mixtape sessions. Our celebration continues. This Sunday, we're at Cielo, New York City, 18 Little West 12th Street.
Okay.
And that's beginning at 5 p.m., 5 to 10 p.m. The party is called Life. Resident DJs are Deuce Martinez and Herb Mark, and special guest yours truly, Adam Cruz.
Okay.
So we're doing.
And he better play some of my music.
I always play Eddie music.
But wait a minute. And see, and here's the other thing. Because of our connection, if I know Adam is going to play someplace, not only my music, but I always say make sure that you play music that is on the mixtape sessions label.
Right.
Because a lot of times you get into a place and you want to play music, and you really want to play your music.
Right.
But at the same token, you try to be
We want to
cognizant of your audience
Right.
and when to drop it. But I'm always telling him, play your music.
That's
Find
right.
a way to
That's
incorporate
right.
your music
That's right.
wherever you go out and play.
Exactly.
So we're grateful. We're going to do New Jersey Drive.
Yep, March 24th.
March 24th. And then April, the first week in April, we're going to be appearing at Ash Lounge, where I'm going to do a couple cuts from the album.
Okay.
And
That's
Adam
the
is
first
going to
Friday.
Adam's going to play. That's the first Friday. And Ash Lounge is in Bloomfield. And then the second Saturday in April, I'll be performing at Humble Beginnings.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
again, we're starting the radio shows, the performances,
Yeah.
the what we do with Freedom Radio Hour,
Right.
the hosting and all of that stuff, and then finding other opportunities where we can bring each other along.
Nice.
Because with this, it was only going to be about me, but I said, no.
Yeah,
I want to
yep.
bring,
Absolutely.
because this man is part of who I am.
Right.
And my album is on Mixtape Sessions, and we're celebrating 10 years. So how could I not
Thank you so
bring
much. Mm-hmm.
him to share in this with me?
Right.
Because it's all to him.
That's
I'm
right.
where I'm at now.
That's right. That's why I said send me the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Send me the picture. Let me put it on. Let me put it on the flyer. We are.
So you know
good.
what I will say is, hold on to your dreams.
That's
Yes.
right.
If it's a pipe dream, turn that pipe dream into a reality. Seek those people that are willing to work with you, that are willing to be compassionate and be honest with you,
Right.
and basically help you move forward.
Yeah.
I can say that about Adam. I can say that about Joe Flame
Okay.
from D Sharp Music, Rashmi Mantry, and Glenn Thornton. Those 4 men, by virtue of me working with them, have provided many people with opportunities.
Yeah.
to live out their dream
Right.
as a singer.
Right.
Everybody can't sing.
That's right.
And you know, and those of us that think we can, we go and we do what we can. And when you find people that can make you sound like you can,
Right.
then that's what you do. You find a way to make that relationship work. So what I say to people, young people, old people, no matter what age, do your thing.
That's right.
Keep on keeping on, keep on pressing on. Believe in your craft
Yes.
and toot your own horn, because
That's
if
right.
you don't toot it, nobody else will.
That's right. That's right. Toot toot.
Toot toot. Yeah. Beep
If you want to
beep.
learn,
Beep,
if you want to
beep.
learn about
Yeah.
the music game, check out freedomradiohour.com. And we
Okay.
have a free app. Search us out.
Mm-hmm.
And we have all kinds of episodes. We talk about royalties and publishing and streaming
Nice.
and why we're not getting paid or why we are and how that works. And so come and
Mm-hmm.
join us.
Nice. Nice. So again, more jewels.
Yes.
More jewels.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys hear that? You're getting jewels dropped here at GS Radio Norg. They have the Freedom Radio. You guys are gonna get jewels from there. I think everybody needs to just tune in. Tune in. That's
Tune
it.
in,
And
tune
when is it
in.
again? When is it again?
freedomradiohour.com. Did I say that right?
Yes, and we air every Friday at noon. Every
Okay.
Friday at noon.
Part
Friday
of
at noon.
D Wild Music Radio.
Okay.
So it's all
Yep.
all part of that.
And
whole
on Capital
connection.
Radio, so we do
Capital
a lot of-
Radio One. So
All of it
Okay.
together.
And Eddie knows that I'm going to be calling him to help
A number of
decorate.
things.
Yes,
Yes.
my other well, GS Radio Nork is going to into the South Ward. We're going to be at the Nantec Center.
Okay.
Al Sharp, Al Sharp is Pastor Bartley's center over there. So
Great.
I'm going to be in the South Ward as well. So I'm looking to expand as much as I possibly can. I'm also looking to have. So if you guys have youngsters that you work with that wants to learn how to do engineering and radio show hosting, bring them my way. Send them my way, because I am doing training and I'm not charging anybody.
Wow,
So yes,
I love that.
I'm blessed to be a blessing. So I have to continue to bless my kids because I want them. They're our future.
And that's
They're our
what it's all
future.
about, teaching and sharing what you know
Right.
with others. And with
Exactly.
these young kids that are coming up, they need to be taught right.
Right.
You can sit down and figure things out, but it's nothing more perilous when you think you know what you're doing and you really don't. So when you have people such as yourself and others like Adam and myself to be able to show you the way. Once we show you the way, then you can do
Right.
what you need to do with it, but you need to learn the right way to do things.
Absolutely. So you guys already know. If you don't know, now you do. You were tuned into the Champagne Room Radio Show with your girl Tanya Champagne. My co-host Mina Black wasn't here today, but she wasn't going to be talking to the Ustream anyway, because she only talked to Facebook Live. She don't be talking to y'all. So I'm but I'm here. You already know. I'm here. Thank you again for watching in all 232 plus countries that are watching. I love you guys. I thank you guys for being here. GS Radio Nork is doing big things. We're going to continue to do big things. We Got Us Kids is going to continue to do big things. Eddie, Adam, thank you guys so much. So much for being here. You were awesome. You were awesome guests.
Thank
Your music
you.
was playing in the background. Y'all didn't get to hear it. Too bad.
Well, we're going to
Y'all
tune
can
into
hear
the
it anytime.
Ustream and find
Tune
it.
into the Ustream in here. I actually is gonna once it's
And
on the
usually you
Ustream,
share it.
and I do it on the YouTube,
Okay, great.
and so it'll be on both YouTube and Ustream.
Perfect.
So I'll send it to you guys so you guys can share it all over the world. That whatever part of the world I'm not touching, you guys can touch. But that's what it's about, sharing. It's so easy. It's so easy to share.
Yes.
Why? What is the problem with people? Like, it's so easy to share. Just hit the button. Share. Tag.
And that's what everything.
Like, yes.
That's what everything.
Yes.
If your heart is into sharing, share it.
Yes. Yes.
Share your talent, share your time, share your information, share your love.
Yes. Share your love. Share your love.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
also
love you
realizing if you're
guys.
sharing, you're not losing. You're to
E-
win.
Exactly. Could you say that again? Wait. I'm going to put this back on you first. Let me use it. Say
I'm
that.
saying it's realizing that sharing is not losing. Sharing is winning.
That's right. And that's what we're going to end with.
Oh, but before you go, www.eddienicholas.com.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, www.eddienicholas.com.
Okay.
DJAdamCruz.com. All the
Okay.
.com.
All the
Everybody got the .coms going on.
And in closing, as I always say, it's my new motto. One of my little kids, every time I say it, she throws that fist up. Power to the people.
Yes. Power to the people.
Because it's power in the people.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, power to the
Thank
people.
you
Y'all
again.
already know. Thank you guys. It was beautiful. I love you guys.
So, We're finished.
GS9 North Radio. Tony Champagne.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Champagne Black.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Champagne Room.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Champagne Room.
Yes,
You're not entering the Champagne Room.
It's time to unwind, no school, this is a recess. I'm getting right, drinking light, listen to GS. I'm sitting down at GS. You know, Jersey, own station. You know, you gotta beat this. The unsigned artist interview, new tunes, the Champagne Room. Our topic, she get the deepest, so beat this. Call up so you can speak in, exotic music. Even son for your deacon, school's out, and you home for the weekend? No doubt, don't even start tweaking this wasteland. Rock bottom, changing the seasons, yeah, what? While we sitting at the GS, it's time to unwind. No school, this is a recess. While I'm sitting down at GS, yeah. While I'm sitting down at GS.
Welcome to the Champagne Room.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Champagne Room.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Champagne Room.
Yes,
You're not
yes.
entering the Champagne
Radio.
Room. Call in 973-900-6453. GS9 North Radio. Tony Champagne.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Champagne Black.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Champagne Room.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Champagne Room.
Yes,
You're not
yes.
entering the Champagne Room.
It's time to unwind, no school, this is a recess. I'm getting right, drinking light, listen to GS. I'm sitting down at GS. You know, Jersey, own station. You know, you gotta beat this. The unsigned artist interview, new tunes, the Champagne Room. Our topic, she get the deepest, so beat this. Call up so you can speak in, exotic music. Even son for your deacon, school's out, and you home for the weekend? No doubt, don't even start tweaking this wasteland. Rock bottom, changing the seasons, yeah, what? While we sitting at the GS, it's time to unwind. No school, this is a recess. While I'm sitting down at GS, yeah. While I'm sitting down at GS.
Welcome to the Champagne Room.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Champagne Room.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Champagne Room.
Yes,
You're not
yes.
entering the Champagne
Radio.
Room. Call in 973-900-6453. GS9 North Radio. Tony Champagne.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Champagne Black.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Champagne Room.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Champagne Room.
Yes,
You're not
yes.
entering the Champagne Room.
It's time to unwind, no school, this is a recess. I'm getting right, drinking light, listen to GS. I'm sitting down at GS. You know, Jersey, own station. You know, you gotta beat this. The unsigned artist interview, new tunes, the Champagne Room. Our topic, she get the deepest, so beat this. Call up so you can speak in, exotic music. Even son for your deacon, school's out, and you home for the weekend? No doubt, don't even start tweaking this wasteland. Rock bottom, changing the seasons, yeah, what? While we sitting at the GS, it's time to unwind. No school, this is a recess. While I'm sitting down at GS. Yeah. While I'm sitting down at GS.
Welcome to the Champagne Room.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Champagne Room.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Champagne Room.
Yes,
You're not
yes.
entering the Champagne
Radio.
Room. Call in 973-900-6453. GS9 North Radio. Tony Champagne.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Champagne Black.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the Champagne Room.
Yes, yes.
Welcome to the
Yes,
You're not
yes.
entering the Champagne Room.
It's time to unwind, no school, this is a